Many people have different takes and perspectives as to how they view their lives, professions, families, careers, vehicles, and the entire world they live in or have created for themselves based on their perspectives. Let's approach perspectives from two different views, emotional and rational. Let's start with the emotional point of view. My 2005 Honda Pilot is the first brand new car I've ever purchased. It only had 200 miles on it when I bought the thing. I was so proud of being able to take my wife to pick it up as soon as it was delivered to the dealership. Through the years, we brought all three of our children home from the hospital as infants in our beloved Honda Pilot. It has faithfully helped us to journey to and from Florida on family vacations, for spring break, birthday parties, weddings, and visits to family and friends for nearly a decade now. Although it recently turned over 100,000 miles, we have no intentions of getting rid of it. We simply maintain it as best we can, as it's a member of our family. We have no idea what we would do without it. Besides, it's paid for. Now let's change our perspective to a more rational one. Let's stick to the facts and let go of all emotion in considering the same vehicle. It's time for a new vehicle. The annual maintenance cost for our 2005 Honda is steadily growing, especially since we've had transmission repairs, problems with the brakes, and issues with the suspension, just to name a few. With gas prices continuing to climb, 15 miles to the gallon in the city and 23 miles to the gallon on the highway, if we're lucky, this vehicle is becoming more expensive to drive. We could get approximately $5,000 for it in trade-in value, or even a little bit more if we were to sell it on our own. It might be worth more dead than alive. Ouch. In the book Switch by Chip and Dan Heath, we're drawn to the notion of emotional lines of thinking and decision-making as being an elephant, and the rational or logical approach of decision-making as its rider. Both perspectives are important, but a balance must exist between the two in order to reach decisions and effectively foster change. Think about it. What if you were to base every single decision that you would make, both personal and professional, with purely an emotional approach? That could quite possibly be one out-of-control elephant. On the other hand, what if every decision you made was free and clear of any emotion and was only born of rational consideration? Could we maintain control by purely stifling our emotions while we rode? Would we be riding at all? Now that you've had a chance to reflect while considering the questions, let's think about how we make our decisions while initiating change in our school. As a staff, do we strive to find a true balance in our collective decision-making process with regard to emotional and rational approaches? Is that balance present in our collaborations? In order for change to occur, teacher reflection through group discussions and experiences must be a common practice. The Heath brothers echo this sentiment by saying, quote, "The elephant constantly looks to the herd for cues about how to behave," end quote. How does that affect change in your building? What if your colleagues' interactions and perspectives were dominated by an imbalance, which modeled predominantly emotional or rational decision-making approaches? How will that affect the decision-making process or change in your building? It would certainly take more than one person to change a school effectively and efficiently. In their chapter entitled "Rally the Herd," the Heath brothers remind us that we should certainly take responsibility as individuals. However, the notion of trying to do everything on your own accord may not be the best approach. A united front with individuals sharing responsibility and values can help initiate effective change. In his best-selling book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey suggests that we don't always understand the problem before we try to quickly fix things up. Could that be detrimental to change? Does it remind you of a particular perspective? In closing, change takes a conscious balance in perspectives, individual accountability coupled with teamwork, and time if it's going to occur. And in referencing time, I thank you for yours.